at a home that was under construction in the 10,000 block of Monte Carmel Place. My understanding is that's on the east side of the county. Thankfully, the owner of that residence that's under construction had some security cameras placed, and he was able to give us pretty good information on a suspect vehicle. We ran down that suspect vehicle and we found it to be located at the 4200 block of San Fernando Street on the west side of the city of San Antonio. Our investigators went to that location. Oh, let me back up a bit. What was stolen from the home under construction was some construction materials, OSB planks. So it's basically like plywood that's used for a roofing application, usually with foil on one side. So it's a bit more expensive than just a sheet of plywood. Quite a large amount was stolen from the residents initially. My understanding is it was about $3,000 worth of equipment that was of materials that were stolen from the initial theft that was reported. When we went to the residence in the 4200 block of San Fernando Street, we were able to see not just the property that was stolen from that other residence, but a large amount of construction materials of a similar quality. So we were able to get a search warrant. We were able to make several arrests at the house. Let me give you the names of the suspects, and of course we'll send these to you. And I believe we have video of these guys actually being walked, if I'm not mistaken. So first suspect in this case, Joaquin Sanchez Rodriguez, 28 years of age, date of birth 12/9/97, and Nicandro Sanchez Rodriguez, 35 years of age, date of birth 9/29/1990. They're both facing felony 3 theft charges. So what we found at the home was not just the materials that were stolen, but a huge amount of similar materials. So much so that I believe we brought out 2 18-wheelers, flatbed 18-wheelers, and we filled those with the stolen property that was taken. All said and done, we're estimating there's about $80,000 worth of materials that we recovered from these folks. My understanding is that these guys were in the business of doing that. They would go to homes under construction, steal materials, and then resell these materials at a cheaper price to other home builders. So at this point, we're continuing to develop information. If we are able to develop information on folks that may have been buying or folks that may have been helping them out with these thefts, certainly I'm fully expecting other people to be arrested in connection with this case. But again, I use this as a reminder to the community. If you are a home builder or if you are having a home built, it's extremely important that you safeguard your materials. Have a way of locking those materials up. If you're having materials delivered, make sure that you're waiting until the very last minute. So in other words, don't have a bunch of appliances or a bunch of building materials sitting in the yard or sitting in the garage. See if you can get those things delivered as close to them actually being installed on the home as possible. Obviously, none of this is completely foolproof. If thieves want to get your stuff, they're going to find a way to get your stuff. Unfortunately, criminals are very resourceful. But in this instance, what really helped us break this case wide open is the fact that homeowner thought ahead and put up a security camera that was able to give us pretty good quality video and photos that helped us ultimately not just solve his case, but other cases as well. It really helped us to break up a theft ring, in fact. Any questions on that case?
Did you or other law enforcement agencies receive reports around the county of home builders reporting their stuff being stolen?
It's a constant thing for us on a daily basis. Right now we're also seeing a high frequency theft item is electrical breakers. So if you, for example, when your house trips a breaker and you go out to the garage and you've got the fuse box with switches, those things are being stolen. That's a high theft item, a high volume theft item. And right now we're investigating rings of that. But again, it's certainly not outside the ordinary for us to get a call that somebody's appliances have been stolen, when brand new appliances have been stolen, or fixtures, toilets, lighting fixtures, whatever it may be. Again, that's why you don't want to have those things sitting in your construction site. You want to get them delivered and then installed almost immediately. That's not necessarily 100% foolproof, but it's my best advice for avoiding these sorts of things.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Oh yeah, what was the array of equipment that you guys, or materials that you guys seized? Like, was that appliances, breakers, all the above?
Well, with these guys, they didn't have any breakers. What these guys had was mostly the OSB, but they did have some other smaller items. I'd have to get you specifics on it, but they did have some tools. So again, these guys, if you know, they go to a job site and there's, like these guys were looking for OSB panels, but if there's a drill laying around or a sawzall laying around, they're going to steal that too, because as you know, criminals are opportunistic, and if the situation presents itself and they're able to steal something that's not nailed down, literally, they're going to do so.